Okay. I see the two people are watching. One of them has to be me, I guess. Can you hear me? Should be. Yeah. OBS is not friendly today, so who knows? No. Have to set it before. Let's see. Maybe we might need to stop the stream to change it to extra low latency if it will go too bad. Okay, 7 people. Let's wait a few minutes and then let's start. Grab something to drink. At start, I'll just ramble a little bit about Opium itself and what we will be trying to do in the course. And at the start, you will still have time to fix your Java Home and Android Home pads and just listen, maybe enjoy your time, and then the problems will start. Okay, I don't think we will have a lot more people. Like quite bad. Some people were asking, and the course was full already, and then we have only 10 people joining. But okay, it is what it is. Milan, I really zoomed in screenshot. Those are, if you read the thing, what Opium Doctor says, those are optional dependencies, and we won't be needing these in the course. I'll leave it like this. So, hey guys, welcome to the Mobile Automation Junior course. A little bit about the course. Maybe first I'll start with myself. I've been working in Tesla Lab for about 2.5 years. Started as a manual tester, then moved on to automate for iOS devices with the same setup as we will do now, so Ruby and Appium and Cucumber. Now mostly have been working to web automation, but I guess I still know how to automate mobile devices too. So about the course, we want to learn some of the things. So how do we set up? How do we get the real devices, the emulators, and run tests on them? Probably we won't go in depth with emulators. Usually, in my previous experience, working with them wasn't the best. Real devices were less prone to random bugs. You don't have to worry about the emulator themselves getting broken. As I said, haven't been working with mobile automation in quite some time, so maybe that has changed, but we will stick to real devices because yeah, I think at least in my experience it was a lot better. It's good to know how to actually set up one too. I'll show you guys the Opium and Opium desktop. Those two are different things. So Opium is the command line tool, and Opium desktop is a graphical user interface for setting up the Opium server, which we won't really use. We will run the server from the command line, but we will use the element selector, which is included into the Opium desktop. That will be the way we find the selectors for our elements to click on them or check their text or whatever. You'll also learn how to find and interact those elements. Learn the main things, nothing too in-depth in my opinion, like clicking, getting the text of it, typing into it, like a simple swipe. Basically the basics what you might need to start to automate yourselves. I'll also show a quite decent project structure. I think it's commonly known as page object pattern. To go more into depth in that. Cucumber, that's a behavior-driven development tool. Basically allows us to write test cases with human language, and they will execute some code under that nice human text, and so everybody, even I don't know, like the accountant could join in and just write some test cases for you, and then you can automate them. And we'll also go through simple reports. Now Cucumber is quite nice, that previously it didn't like generate the nicest ones, but now the Cucumber report, in my opinion, is quite sufficient. So maybe we'll not go into the like custom reporting part. What else about the course? Now the TDL, how to say it, the percentage you have to get to pass the course is 60%, but I think it still will weigh down more to see if you actually can automate the test cases overall. I think previously it was 80%. It just means the grading will be the same. You will still have to know how to pass the things. It doesn't mean the course got easier. It's just I'll have to, I guess, how give less points for like simple things, and the threshold will be about the same. But yeah, to pass the course, you'll have to have 60%. I'll probably, yeah, I'll recheck if everything works correctly, and I'll probably give the task right after the course ends. Currently, I'm thinking about 1 week, so you have this whole week and the weekend to finish it up. Maybe I'll make it into 2. I'll think about it. That, there's not that, at least in my opinion, there's not that much, and uh, to automate, so should be fine with 1 week. What else? Guess I have to tell you guys about the breaks. At the moment, I think let's stick to like 5-10 minute breaks when I feel like I need to go outside and smell some fresh air. Other than that, let's have one big one at like 1 o'clock, so we can go and get something to eat and things like that. And yeah, I guess so. For now, that's it. So let's start. So about Opium, it's the good things about Opium is that it supports both Android and iOS. So that's really great. A lot of tools only work on one thing. If you look into like native things like XUCI, you test or whatever, that's just you have to write it in Swift, and then it only works on iOS devices. And for Android, I think there's UI Automator. You can use those frameworks like natively, but Opium supports both of them inside it, and so you can basically have the same test cases for Android and iOS devices in one repository. It also supports native, hybrid, and web apps. Those who don't know, so a native application is something, in simple terms, something you see in the Play Store. A hybrid app would be something you see in the Play Store, but it also opens up like small web pages, so web views. And web apps should be something that you open up in your mobile device browser. Milan, first of all, I think I already answered your question that it's optional, so you don't have to worry about those dependencies. Second of all, don't send me uh, try to not send me messages about, especially about errors in like direct chats. Put them inside, let's say, in the errors chat, so maybe some other people have the same problem, and so I don't have to answer everybody 10 times the same thing. Yeah, we can also have a small break. Oh, by the way, didn't, I guess, tell what we will do today. The plan for today is to really simple. Get everything installed, get rid of all of the errors, uh, launch Opium, create a simple Ruby test file, a simple project structure, and maybe one simple, let's say, login test case where it will just put in some data and login, and that's it. Today's goal is to make sure that everything works for everybody, because in this course, I think I've done it like 4 or 5 times, and there's always a bunch of problems first with people's Java paths and things like that, as we can already see. Then the next problems are devices not really doing what we want. Sometimes some people have to switch to emulators because for whatever reason the computer doesn't find them. Usually blame it on the data cable, but and then there comes the big problems with Ruby installations, especially on people with M1 processors. There's a lot of things broken there, and sometimes my experience, it takes at least a few hours to debug everybody's problems. So for those who will get everything working pretty fast, uh, that's nice. You can have a big break and wait until I spam in Discord that we're continuing. And for those who will have problems, let's try to fix them. Usually I manage to find everybody's problems and fix them, but yeah. So if the day was good, we could probably finish at like 1 or 2 o'clock, but that's like a few hours in for debugging and getting everything installed and fixing things. Because I don't know why the install is fresh. I've done it multiple times on both M1 and Intel processors. I'm having no problems, but people come in here. Maybe they have like Java versions installed and they mess something up, or with Ruby especially once you do the bundle install, everything can go downhill real fast. Yeah, maybe some I don't know how people break them and why they're having so much trouble, but it is what it is, and I will probably fix them all. I'll continue about Opium. So yeah, maybe we'll finish faster, maybe we will not. Depends on how long I have to spend time debugging things. And yeah, we can have like, as I said, let's have like 5, 10, 15 minute breaks in between to grab like something to drink or eat or yeah, whatever you need to do. Okay, let me continue. I told about the apps. Yeah, so the web apps are the ones you open on your mobile device on like your browser. So you open up Google Chrome, you go to Drog.ml. Last point. Let me get to the last point, please. Okay, so huge language support. It supports a lot of them, as you can see: Ruby, Python, Java. Uh, Probably a few more are added since I made this presentation. Um, so that's also great if you don't have to just stick to one specific language. For example, like you have for web automation with Cypress, it only supports JavaScript or TypeScript, but that's like a wrapper for JavaScript. So it's good that you can adjust to what you need. It still has got a really active community, still gets patches, updates. If you search for stuff, hey, you could argue that it's not the biggest, and sometimes when the errors start to happen, finding information on the issue can be pretty difficult, but if you compare it to something like Selenium, but it's still quite well documented, and most of the things you can easily find. The UI tool to find elements, which I mentioned previously, the Opium desktop one, really great tool to actually start automating your first test cases. And the app does not have to be recompiled. The Opium server runs in the background. Glebs, what this means is you don't have to have access to the source code. You don't have to uh, uh, install and build the application every time. So for a lot of tools, you have to have your source code too, and then you build the application and the tests run basically in the runtime. With Opium, we will just get an APK, and that's it, and it will work, and we don't have to have access to any of that. Emulators. I'll quickly run through them. Let's hope nobody has to switch to emulator today. But emulators come with Android Studio. Actually, for those who just downloaded it and didn't open it, please open it now. Oh, I also need an update. Open it now. It will install like some first time install things, and it contains the tools that you might need. Not might, but not you will need. Otherwise, you'll get some errors that it cannot find things. In Android Studio, in tools, and there's the AVD manager, but yeah, I won't show how to do that now. Please open up that once. Yeah, it might ask you for like a project, just create an empty one, doesn't matter what, if it asks you to. But yeah, you can use the UI mode in the Android Studio. There's in tools section, there's AVD, so Android Virtual Device, and there you go, Virtual Device Manager. And there you can choose whatever Android version, screen sizes, like there's like preset devices that you can choose to download. And you download emulator, there's a start button, you press that and your emulator basically starts working. And yeah, you can afterwards you can run it through the emulators too. I guess yeah. So I changed my mind. I'll show you guys how it looks in the Android Studio, where you have to press that green button. If you open it, you don't have to follow this. I'm just showing, and we won't be using this during the course, but sometimes might come in handy for some of you. So once you open it up, it will ask you to like create a virtual device. You choose whatever screen size you want. Basically, this is just the screen size. It's saying like pixel is just having its resolution, size, and density, so it's not like anything device specific. And also one thing to note, this is this Play Store button. You might need it if you want to like automate from the Play Store, like download something from there. Then you just click next. You choose which Android version. If you Google what these are, it should probably be Android. Oh, it says previously there wasn't, so 11, 10, whichever version you need. Click on download, and after that it will start downloading. I won't do that, it will take some time. And then there's like finish button or whatever, and then there will be a green, you'll have a list of your installed devices, and you can click on them. And once you click on start, it will actually like open up a window, and you'll see your emulator device. Stop. Please stop freezing. Nice, my Android Studio Pro. Okay, and another way start them is through the emulator. You need to have your Android HomePad set, and after that you can just call like emulator, and then I don't have any, I think. But there's like command. Okay, I don't have it. Never mind. Yeah, you could run this command, list AVDs. It will get you the emulators you have, like names. I don't have any, so it's not showing anything for me. But and then you can just run emulator at your name and add the name of the emulator, and then it will run. But again, we won't be using that, so we'll move past that. So what we will need to automate our first test case, we will prepare our real device, we will prepare our application, we'll get some information about the device. I think we only need the UDID of it. And then we'll get the app running with Opium desktop. We'll try to poke around with it, see what's going on there. Let's create a simple Ruby test file. This is where we will have our first problems, probably the biggest problems, not the first. Uh, then we will start the Opium server from the command line, and then we will try to interact with those phone elements that we can see in the Opium desktop element selector, and try to create our quick login test case. So I guess please take your nice devices, and what you need to do is enable developer options and USB debugging mode. Usually it's in, you have to enable the developer options. To do that, you go to About Phone and find where you can see the build number. And let me see, I have a Samsung phone. For me, it is settings, about phone, I think status information. Then you have to tap on it like a bunch of times, and it will open up. It will say that do you want to enable developer options. Probably just have a quick Google search for your specific phone type, because it changes depending on the phone. Dragon, it's easy, but we will not do it. Why we won't be using the desktop application, so I also need update for this one. But so we'll go into this, but while people are setting the developer options, I guess show. So we will not be using this nice thing where you can just start it with a click of a button, if it would load for me. So you can also have your things set in here, and you can start the server, and then you will see this thing. What we will do is not use this. We will do it through the terminal, and it's really easy. Just write Opium and that's it, and your server will start just like it did in the UI mode. The reason we do this, once you will get to let's say intermediate mobile automation, you will run parallelization, where you have to change the ports depending on how many devices you have, and it will start a new Opium server on a new port, and things like that. You can't automate the part where you will not wake up every morning to start 10 Opium servers so your test cases can run. We will stick to the command line tool. So we can write in our Ruby file whatever we need, and then it will create those things for us. It's okay. Nobody's telling me they cannot find their developer options. Yeah. Maybe you can see my phone. Okay, once you have your developer options, at least for me they're here, there's an option USB debugging, and you have to open that up, enable it. This will allow us to actually work with the phone. To check it, big check. Once you enable that, you should have like a screen saying, "Do you trust this device?" Something. Just tick the box that says that you want to remember that, because you'll probably connect and disconnect the phones sometimes. And then in the console, you should write ADB devices, not in the console, in the terminal. And you should see something like this: a list of devices attached, some number and device. If you have offline or unauthorized, then something's not right. Unauthorized probably means that either you didn't get the pop-up to get like the authentication. If it's offline, it's actually weird. It's usually for the Wi-Fi ones. Yeah, I guess so far nobody's having problems. Maybe for somebody ADB devices doesn't work also, but I guess it works. Nobody's saying anything. Great. First possible errors are passed. Nice. Okay, we enable and accept the prompt. Next thing we need is the application. There are two ways to launch to Opium. We can have our APK, Android package kit, uh, and we can tell Opium, hey, the file is here, please install it or run it. Or we can actually install it and then use, we can specify the package in the mobile phone. So that's something similar to like folders in your desktop. So you say com something dot something else, and then it will find the application in the phone and start running with that. What we will do is run the APKs, and we'll probably we need to find APK downloader. Pretty simple, don't overthink it. Just go APK downloader in Google or whatever search engine you use. And I think, let's see, some APK downloaders are giving like not APK files, but it's giving APK, some X APK, and they want you to install the application. So apk/dl.com looks like will be fine, and we will be automating a web store. Let's see, yes, this one. I'll paste it in Discord, in the general chat. And then you can open this one up, download the APK file. It will open up and just start to download it. I think I already have it, so I won't download it again. Yeah. And looks like there isn't a link for specific Android versions. Let's hope we won't run into troubles about with that too. Probably should work fine with, but sometimes there are version specific errors. But then we'll just find a place where we can download it for a specific Android version. Yeah, wait like a minute or two so everybody can catch up and download it. Also, by the way, since we are on YouTube, it's quite nice for you that if you miss something, for example, if I'm typing too fast or anything like that, just scroll back the live stream a little bit and catch up, and no worries, don't be stressed about these little things, because usually we have like some places posting link. Okay, only this time. No, Dragon, please, no issues. Okay, tell me your issues. By the way, can we check what's the delay? I'll open up one that time. Eight seconds. Okay, 141. It's not updating in here. At the moment, let's see when it updates. Can on 141 in here. My clock is 31 seconds behind. Okay, whatever. What's the time for you guys in the live stream? So what's the delay? So after a while, I don't know where it's downloaded. Then download it again and okay, 5-second delay. Yeah, probably during the break. I will restart the stream and change the setting to ultra low latency, and then it's like 2 or 3 seconds. I think it's a little bit better. My internet connection is not the best. Maybe you don't have, yeah, maybe you don't have the adblock. Okay, Dragon got his APK. I guess I ran through a little bit, but so we need to check that once we have our device connected, we need to check that it actually is connected to our computer and we can work with it. So again, do ADB devices, and you should see your device in here as a device. I guess the first problem somebody could find is that you cannot find this command. It should be an easy fix. And second, as I mentioned, that the device either doesn't show up, it's offline, or it's showing unauthorized. So if you have any of those, make sure it says device. That means that it's connected and basically ready to use. Yeah, if you want some additional information, you can do L device L, then you can get like its model and things like that. You can even go more in depth, but we won't be using that. This is useful if you, for example, want to like see what devices are connected, and then you can get the device names or their Android versions, and then you can have that into your fancy test report. But we won't go into that, so no worries about that. You can do a bunch of things with ADB, basically everything from changing settings to again doing some interactions with the phone itself. So maybe if you need some things, you can just Google some fancy ways to do, like set up multiple phones on some specific test settings, and you can create like a quick shell script that executes some actions. What might come in handy is adb/s. If you have multiple devices connected, that's to say that you want to execute something specific on that one device. So you do adb/s, and then you copy this UDID, and then you execute things on that device. But that's more for prioritization, but I guess I need to mention that too. But maybe let's try to install to make sure everything works for everybody. Let's try to install that that APK that we just got on the phone that we have connected. I actually have it installed, so to prove I'm not lying, I guess I will delete it. Yeah. Okay. And again, ADB devices. Get the UDID. And if you check the presentation, ADB install, and we need the APK location. For me, I already worked yesterday everything. Easiest way, find your APK probably in your downloads folder. Track detail box, let me check. Looks fine so far. Yes, looks like it works fine for me, Debs. Yeah, open the place where is your APK. Yes, that would be one way, but usually people who are in junior courses, they're not proficient with terminal too, so maybe either put it, you don't have to move it. I'll show you a life hack. You can just grab your file, put it in terminal, it will show where it is. Also, Dragon, please change the you can see you have spaces in the file name and dashes. This can cause problems, so maybe rename it to like I have it. It also looks nicer, I guess. Once you have it in the code, yeah, those slashes and dashes can cause problems once you put them into a string. Yeah, just press enter, and it should install the APK on your Android device. Okay, I get success, and if I check my mobile phone, you can see that I have that application installed. Great. Okay, looks like nobody has had problems with that. And you can uninstall things, you can click with the ADB, uh, you can do a bunch of things, so it's up to you guys. We won't be using that, so I won't go into details, but it's good to know that you can do some specific stuff with it too. Okay, so next step is to actually set up Opium. So let's start with the UI version, and after that we'll move to the code version. This one is not for me. I can't know pin and password. Can you send me the ID? If somebody put it in there, I can probably show you. Glebs. Okay, don't send me the ID. I'll do it. I'll do it. I found it. I found it. I'm fast. It will only show up for you in 5 seconds. Yeah, I guess. And Everita, as I said, don't worry if just scroll back the stream a little bit. Soon we will have a bunch of problems probably with Java and Ruby, and we will pause and you will catch up 100%. I just know it. Okay, everybody should launch Opium at this moment, and we won't set up the server in here, but if you come in here and there's new session window, and you open it, or you can do option N will open up for you, and you can see we will be trying to create like a custom server. Oh, I have something saved for myself. Oh, that's actually nice. I won't have to type it. I can just tell it to you. So what we have to set this thing that we won't need. The rest, yes, the rest actually is fine for me. So what we have to set up is the capabilities of the device and the server. For those, these would be the minimum ones that you actually need. There's a bunch of things you can set, so maybe if you want the application to not be installed, or you want it to be installed every time, like specific, if you want like your Wi-Fi to be on off, a bunch of things. If you want to take a look into it, you can go Opium desired capabilities, and there's documentation. I'll put the link. No, this is not the link to their documentation. Right? This one. This one. You can go through this. We will basically use the minimum required things to get our automation running, but I'll put it in, maybe I'll create a new channel. PAM install commands, read this. I'll make a new channel with useful information. Okay. And open okay, Yeah, try not to write in that channel, so we have one channel because people will ask some errors and things like that, and then everything gets lost basically. So let's not use that. If you want, you can have a read what the thing does. But what we need is the platform name. So simple Android or iOS. I'm not sure if like TVs have a different platform, but for us, we will be automating Android devices. Um, Device name is not mandatory. You can actually take it out, but usually I put it. So you can have like Samsung on 10 or I actually don't know what the phone is, but you can have that and then you can have it in your reports. Should we also do that in parallel? Yes, you for this you need to create these desired capabilities. I'll leave the screen up so you can. It's not bigger, getting bigger. But what you need to do is platform name, so Android, device name, whatever you want in here, doesn't matter, and you can actually leave it out. Automation name will be using UI Automator tool. That's Android specific automation framework. The app, so that's the path to your APK. Pretty simple. And the UDID is the UDID you get from ADB devices once again. And after you have that, click the save button so you don't have to write it every time when you launch it, because we will be opening this thing a bunch of times. It will save you some time. Otherwise you will just say, oh sorry, I didn't save, I have to type it again. And once you have all of the things set up, I think pretty simple. I'm not sure if you can read it nicely. It should be good enough to copy paste what I wrote, and then you can. Oh, okay. Start session. I run a little bit fast, so already you can see that the error says could not connect to server. Are you sure it's running? So, but the server is not running, and to run the server, just do write Opium. No, I will not send my JSON. It's pretty easy. I think I will not send the JSON just because when I send my JSON, then you leave people start to leave this APK of mine or this UDID of mine, and then they ask questions. Just type it in. Practice makes perfect. You'll get faster at typing, and you will start to make mistakes by maybe having something like this, like a space in here, and it's not running. So typing yourselves is a good practice, in my opinion, especially for junior people. Maybe I can copy paste it when we will actually write it in Ruby, but in here, maybe try to make the mistakes. Because if you change one small little letter, then it actually breaks the thing. But yeah, in the terminal, write Opium. It should start an Opium server for you, and then press start session. You'll see a bunch of spam in here, and a window should open up after a little while. And I think here, once you launch the Opium, you can have applications path is from PC. Yes, that's where your APK file stands in your PC. And once we get this far, you should see this nice Opium. Edgar's, open up your privacy and security settings, and there you can enable the device, not device, but you can say that you allow this app to run. On which root server? Sorry, Dragon, what root server? Oh, you mean from what path? I'll show you. You can see that it's users, your username, and wherever it has to go. Just find your file, open up a terminal, and just drag it in here, and you will get the path that you need. Just copy paste this. Yes, of course, I can get back to the config. I think some people need to type this out. I'll go grab something to drink. My throat is already dry. So I'll be back in 2-3 minutes. While everybody reads this, again, the next steps are go in terminal, write Opium with 2 P's, and wait for the server to start and click start session. And you should see that screen that I was showing previously. Then everything is fine. And then nice. Usually people already have problems with Joe Home. Oh, and make sure your phone is actually unblocked during this time. I advise to make the longest timeout you can on the device, so you don't have problems with it like blocking the screen all the time. It's okay. Be right back, like 2-3 minutes. Write the config. I'll close this, so if somebody was still typing. And yeah, 1 moment.